Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Fastball Sports Network. I am Frank. That is Mark. Mark, how you doing today?
Doing well today. I gotta wake up early tomorrow morning. Not thrilled about that, but we're talking about wrestling right now, so we'll try to stay on task.
All right. Do you want to talk about your job really quickly, or
No, it's just a little company
okay?
meeting. Have to be there at 7 in the morning, but
Oh,
continue.
ooh. All right. Well, in other news, WWE Extreme Rules is Saturday, and we have to make our predictions as usual. And I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to go with you on this. Do you, before we start going into our Extreme Rules coverage, do we want to go into the AEW Sammy Guevara?
I mean, I don't know if we have enough
Friday.
information to go in on about it. If you want to just touch on it, you can. But I haven't
No, I
really.
mean we have the Twitter war, right? We have the Twitter war. Everyone saw that.
So Andrade said that Andrade, like on the record, he hits really stiff. Everyone kind of knows that watching his matches.
Right.
Apparently, Sammy complained about it, and Andrade said it publicly, saying like he's kind of like a B word, he's soft, whatever. And then Sammy did a whole tweet back at him saying, "Go back to WWE where you want to be," and cursed him out, whatever. And today we heard there was like an altercation backstage. So more chaos in AEW. I mean, I don't really know more than that. If you do, chime in, but that's what I
No,
know.
that was pretty much everything. I mean, like I think we're just gonna start sound like broken records at this point, but it's just kind of like crazy that this is happening. You know what I mean? Like that they allow this to happen. I don't know. I mean, like I guess look, it's two grown men and they're two differencing opinions and it happens, but like how does this happen at every show? I mean, okay, that's an exaggeration, but this has now been a running theme in AEW where they just fight amongst themselves now since, and I think it was blown up with the Punk thing, but like this is yet another very public uh fight that's happening. I just don't know how does it continue to get out too? Well, I mean, this one got
I
out because
mean,
they didn't even care.
there's no in-house laundry. Everything just kind of gets aired out there, and that company is what it seems like. It was funny. I saw someone tweeting about it, like how Sammy has to grow up and like he's still a kid or whatever. And someone commented, "He's 29 years old. Like it's not. He's not 21 years old doing this. So he's 29.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. They cease to amaze and not in the good way. At the start of this or I should say at the current moment they cease to amaze and not in a good way. But all right, let's move on past that. We are going to hop in to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, but there is one more thing I want to ask, lighter note. Um it is about the White Rabbit. Pretty much confirmed Bray Wyatt at this point with all the stuff appearing on screen and everything. Would you be shocked at this point if it wasn't Bray Wyatt?
I haven't really been up to date on like the new like QR codes and stuff that's happening. I see it on Twitter, but like I said, I'm not really like deep diving. I don't really know exactly what's happening. But it goes back to what I said to you probably about a week or two ago, where I said if it's not Bray, they're in a lot of trouble. It better be
Right.
Bray.
Right. And at this point, I haven't done any of the QR codes myself because I just know as soon as they happen, Twitter is just going to have, everything. And I just look on Twitter and everyone seems to think that all the clues point to Bray. So I guess we'll see. Maybe we'll see at Extreme Rules. I don't know. That he could get involved in a match. I don't know where on this card he would really fit in, but I guess we could figure that out as we go along. But without further ado, let's get into Extreme Rules. And the first match that we're going to talk about is the old-fashioned Donnybrook match between the Brawling Brutes and the Imperium. Now, Mark, can you tell our viewers what a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match is?
Donnybrook?
Donnybrook, Donnybrook, Donnybrook.
Is that like a British thing? Like a
I actually don't know, but I think it's just like a street fight.
okay, sure. Yeah, I mean we saw it at the pay-per-view when it was Sheamus versus Walter. They went at it, they punch each other a bunch in the face. Like I'm sure that'll kind of be what this is. So yeah, okay.
You're taking Imperium, correct?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I think this is kind of an opportunity probably for Pete Dunne to stop being Butch and like do his own thing, hopefully. So we'll see if that comes into fruition.
Okay. Um Yeah, I think I'm going to take Imperium too, but since this is a group match, I guess I wouldn't be shocked at the Brawling Brutes one, but this feels like Imperium's first big hit on the main roster as like a team. So I wouldn't have them lose this match, honestly. But we'll see. I feel like that one could go either way, but I'm going to go with Imperium. The next one I find super interesting from a booking decision. I know you're going to roll your eyes because we're doing this again, but it is Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match. For me, this one's super important because I feel like Finn Balor needs to win this match. Like, it's an I Quit match, which means no disqualification, which means all of his gang, the Retribution, can all get involved. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, how do we have him lose this match? We can't have him lose this match.
Yeah, like you said, I don't care at all about Judgment Day. I don't even a little bit.
I was about to say you didn't correct me. I said Retribution, but I meant Judgment Day.
Whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's how you.
I don't think Dominic is doing anything beneficial for the group. I think he's the worst. Don't care for Rhea's like whisper in his ear shtick. Doesn't do much for me as well. Not crazy about Damian Priest. Love Finn Balor. Love him. This is the match with Finn and Edge. I feel like Edge hasn't won in a while. I could see this being like Rhea's holding Beth Phoenix's head to like a car and like making Edge say I quit, like something like nonsensical like that. I feel like that's the way we get Edge to say I quit here. Otherwise, Edge just wins. But no, I think if we're going to keep doing this with the Judgment Day, if we're not planning on splitting this group up, then they kind of have to win this match.
Not only are they not planning on splitting it up, but it looks like they're teasing AJ Styles.
Yeah, he like pushed right to the floor. It kind of seems like they're like planting those seeds a little bit, which that could change things for me. If AJ Styles joins a group, that could definitely give some nice life to it. I do fear that they might have too many people at a certain point. Maybe they have to like remove someone like Dominic, but
I about to say it wouldn't be Damian Priest. They can't like Damian Priest actually makes a really good muscle.
He serves the purpose. He's the muscle with the two guys. Rhea's the girl. So Dominic's the sore thumb at the moment, but it's not going to happen for a while. Like they just started this Dominic turn. So I fear that if they add AJ, then the group has 5 people. 5 just looks like a lot of people.
5 to me seems like a that group of 4 men could be a possible War Games team. So I think we're kind of hoping that doesn't happen. But if it's AJ and Finn Balor, then I'm in. You know what I mean? Like if it's AJ and Finn Balor, that match will be great. And I just don't know who their opponent would be. But I mean, we'll see. We don't even know if AJ is going to make the full turn or if they're doing some type of double tease here, like where it looks like he's going to do it, but then ultimately he doesn't.
AJ's first storyline in a long time.
Yeah, I mean he's needed it, and you could tell people are excited because it's AJ Styles and he's still great, you know. So, but yeah, any group with AJ and Finn, just to kind of add on to what you say, I'm in. Let's see how they do it. Obviously, the booking's been so much better as of late, so I'm just gonna see where they run with it. I'm just gonna see how they go with it. But yeah, I'm almost to the point where I hope AJ joins this group because I think that it would be really good for Finn Balor because I think that they would have to take that group seriously, and also there are all these reports. I know we were talking about earlier in the week that Finn Balor is going to be a
he's due for a big push. He's due for a push.
So let's get him AJ Styles as his running mate there. So, but yeah. Oh, also I'm taking Finn Balor in this one. As I don't know if I said that, but if I didn't, I'm taking Finn Balor in this one.
I'll take Finn as well, and I stand by that. I think Beth Phoenix is gonna kind of be the reason Edge says I quit. How else storyline wise would Edge say I quit? You know what I mean?
And I guess if the 4 of them are just like kicking his butt and he's got no help, you know.
Well, I feel like just for his character though, like he wouldn't say I quit unless like, you know.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, they it's going to be an interesting booking decision. However, I expect some type of twist and turns. Like you said, maybe Beth Phoenix gets involved. Maybe AJ Styles gets involved. I don't really know, but I do expect some type of weird screwy thing to happen, which is fine. In a match like this, you kind of need it for Edge to even look like he's competitive against 4 guys because I mean that's really what or 3 guys right now. Anyway, we will move on to what could be one of many potential match of the night candidates, and that is Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match. Now, I'm going to preference this by saying I've never liked strap matches or anything where they're like tied to each other. I think it really limits what they can do. But if there are two people that could make this work, and two like brutal styles that could make this work, I mean, I don't think you can find any two better than this. So
Yeah, I get what you're saying there with the strap match for sure. It does limit the possibilities, but that's also it's also pretty good that it's kind of always going on. It's not slow paced at all. They're not taking time out of the ring. Like for the most part, it's high intensity. It's kind of a tricky position here to pick who's going to win because Drew just took the loss to Roman, but Karrion's kind of just on the scene now. It's his first big match since returning to the main roster. I would think Kross kind of has to win.
I think this was a lock. I really do. I think Kross has got to win this match.
Okay,
We can bring him back
no.
for it. But Drew's fine. If Drew loses this match, he's fine. You know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah, for sure. It just feels like he's one of the guys they book really, really well and carefully. McIntyre is so back-to-back losses again. I mean, two. It's Roman Reigns and Karrion Kross. They're big, big guys. But this also, you mentioned briefly earlier about Bray Wyatt. This could be his debut spot.
I could see that. Just putting McIntyre through the ringer, or maybe Kross versus him. That would be a very interesting dynamic right off the bat.
Yeah, I think that definitely would help to protect Drew in a loss as well with Bray.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see this being the Bray spot. I mean, like, there's not really a lot that I have to say about this match, other than I think that even with the strap stipulation, that this is going to be good, and I'm like, this is one of the ones on the card where I'm looking forward to it. Like, honestly, like, even though I don't like the match stipulation, I love these two guys. I love their styles against each other. I think there's going to be a similar intensity to what you saw from Walter and Sheamus at Clash at the Castle. Very similar physical feel, and obviously the fact that they're going to be tied to each other right in each other's faces the entire time, I think it adds to that too.
They can use weapons, right?
Yeah, I believe every single one of these matches. Isn't this a crazy concept? At Extreme Rules, every single one of these matches has an extreme stipulation.
I mean, it's been a while, I feel like, since we've gotten this.
Right? I mean, isn't this great? Like every rule, like I have to say the stipulation of the match. Like these are not singles matches. Like these are not tag team matches. They are all have Extreme Rules. And I think the Brawling Brutes and Imperium is going to be like a tornado situation. So everyone's going to be fighting at the same time because it's like a street fight. So that could be another match of the night candidate after what Walter and Sheamus did alone. I mean, you had four guys who we don't know much about the two Imperium guys, but we know about Pete Dunne.
I mean, just that style of match, though, even not knowing the characters, a style of it like that with six guys being all legal, if you will. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, so I think that could also be like a match of the night candidate, which brings me to another match that could be match of the night candidate, and that is Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins in a fight pit match. And there's the pictures circulating on Twitter of the fight pit, and it's that cage, and it's like divoted. And another stipulation is Daniel Cormier of the UFC, obviously one of great light heavyweight champions. I believe it was light heavyweight champions. Don't quote me on that. Very casual UFC fan over here. But he will be in the match, and it's rumored that he is going to do some work in WWE, and he is going to fight none other than Brock Lesnar. So I don't think Brock gets involved in this match, because how would Brock get involved in this match? But I think that's just something to look forward to, that he might be a little bit more physical than a regular celebrity surprise referee,
Yeah, no, and this is also a good place to have these kind of like celebrities in, where like he'll either take a bump or he'll have a spot, but it's not about him. He's just going to enhance what the product is. When it's like, I don't think I would like Brock versus him. I know he's like a well-established guy and everything, but like the actual matches with a celebrity, I don't like. But when they have these little spots here and there, I do think it helps elevate the product. So that's good. This card looks really good. I didn't know this card until you started saying it to me. I was like, wow, this is another match I actually want to watch.
Yeah, this is a good card, and we are both really disappointed that the Mets choked away the division because we are gonna have to split our time between the Mets and Extreme Rules.
I was
Now,
just thinking that same thing. I won't watch this because the Mets is the
it was
real,
like
the real
I'll
shit.
be half in and half out. It'll be on a computer. It's very upsetting. I'm gonna have to. You know what it is? We'll probably just watch it back after the Mets are done. For like
Probably.
effect, but yeah, no, that stinks. But just to add what you said to Cormier, I'm more okay with celebrities in the WWE right now than I've ever been, just because of the recent performances that we've gotten from these guys. Like Bad Bunny is probably the quote unquote worst of the three that I'm gonna mention, and he's phenomenal. He's jumping around with like no regard for his own life, which is great, like super entertaining. He went in there and took it seriously. Pat McAfee, I know he's kind of like a WWE guy at this point. Like we don't even like we think of him, he's a WWE guy. Phenomenal, great, excellent, entertaining matches.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
definitely.
then,
I
of
think.
course, Logan
Sorry.
Paul,
Yeah.
who has been the best of the three of them. I mean, again, McAfee was great, Bad Bunny was great, but Logan Paul has been incredible. So, I mean, now we're taking a guy from the UFC, and listen, I don't know if that type of fighting translates to the ring all the time, but I'm willing to see it play out, to see just kind of how they book him against Brock Lesnar, and if he'll get other matches going forward. He's not one of those guys where I think they're gonna like hang a championship on him or anything like that. So I think his matches will just mostly be fun, you know?
No, I agree with that. And just a little piggybacking on what you were saying, there's been a clear, and this is even before Triple H took over, there's been a clear like changing of the guard where they're not getting Jon Stewart anymore. They're getting these athlete guys who actually care about the product. And like you hear the things, Logan Paul and Bad Bunny were training at the Performance Center for like 2 months before they went on TV. Like these people have like legitimate passion and interest in the product as opposed to a celebrity who's there, like doesn't really know the product, doesn't really care, who's just there for a few ratings, which we saw a lot on Raw over like, I don't know, the past probably from like 2005 to like 2012 was a really big thing. Like the Raw general manager, there was always like a random like celebrity who didn't even know like people's names. Like it was really, really bad. But no, it's cool. It's definitely a major step forward.
Yeah, it's super nice to see that change, like you said, and just the fact that they care, and then they're like names that you don't always see on WWE television, but you're gonna get a similar quality at least to when an actual WWE superstar goes in there. Even, and I have to say, it was one of the most entertaining matches at WrestleMania when Steve-O faced Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. I mean, he fought, like he went in there, he wrestled. Like obviously there was a lot of like gimmicky, joking stuff, but they went on with the intention of putting on a whole wrestling match. You know what I mean? And they did it, and I think they delivered. I think a lot of people really love that match. So like even to that effect, like you said, they have people coming in that want to wrestle, that care about the product, that care about the match, and I think that's all we really ask as fans. But back to the match. Riddle?
Is this the third or the second time?
This is two. So we have Seth winning the first. And also, I don't know if you saw yet on Raw, because I know you're slightly behind right
Seth
now.
has the U.S. title match on Monday.
Seth does have a U.S. title match on Monday. And their promos were excellent. Like Seth made fun of, or well, he didn't make fun of, but he really leaned into the whole divorce thing. And then Riddle came back with like cool, calm, and collected this time with a few jabs of himself. And they really did cut a good promo. Like they're really getting deep. And they're doing a really good job with it. But I know you're thinking over there. I'm gonna take Riddle in this one. I say we gotta go 2-2 with one more blow off match.
I guess if Riddle does, you think they're gonna go one more after this?
At Crown Jewel, yeah.
So you're thinking he loses to Lashley on Monday?
Yeah, I think first of all, Lashley hasn't gotten a no, that's not true. Has Lashley gotten a title defense on pay-per-view? I feel like he hasn't gotten one in a minute. Like he didn't get one at Clash, and he's not getting one at Extreme Rules.
I'm not
which
sure.
is a shame because he's been so hot and so good. He's really doing the Cena thing where he just defends that title every week on Raw, which I don't hate at all. But we got to give the man his flowers, and I don't think it's time to take that belt off of him yet. Really.
Yeah, so I guess that does kind of paint the picture pretty well to have Riddle win and then have the blow off. I kind of think Seth beats Lashley on Monday.
I mean, listen, they could do the blow off for the United States champion, but I think in that case, Seth would be more of a transitional champion.
Which is possible as well.
And because I think Riddle's going to go over in the feud, but we had to get Seth that pay-per-view win. You know what I mean? Like we had
It's a lot of possibilities here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, look, Seth could still go over in the end because he's Seth Rollins and he's like going to be one of the guys. So I could see Seth Rollins going over in the end. I just think at this point that we're leaning Riddle.
And Cormier's gonna get involved, but like on whose behalf would he get involved?
It's going to have to be like an accidental bump or something like that. You know what I mean? But Riddle is the MMA fighter, so there might be something there of like respect among cage fighters or
All
whatever.
right. No, you talked me into it. I'll take Riddle as well then.
All right, good. That's my power of persuasion to get you to pick like me. No, but I think we're in for a good one. Again, I literally there's not a match on this card where I'm like everything is gonna either be like a really fun decision to see, like even Edge versus the Judgment Day. I know you're not crazy about it, but like I really am interested to see how that match ends, you know?
No, the ending is because it's gonna be 20 minutes of chaos and mostly good stuff, but the ending, the booking decision is how it's really gonna ultimately impact everything.
Yeah. And then we have another one, and I can't wait to see Bianca Belair in this match. It's Bianca Belair versus Bayley in a ladder match. Like
The first.
the first one-on-one women's ladder match. I don't want to make that clear because there has been obviously multiple women's Money in the Bank matches, which are ladder matches. So, but yes, this is the first one-on-one for women's championship.
This will end the show, correct? I would think so.
No, I'm going to say the next women's match ends the show.
Ronda
Rousey gets the main event, but I think I don't want to get too far to it, but I think it's Ronda and Liv.
I think they would go with the ladder match over that.
Listen, I think both of them have their big name, but okay, I'll tell you this: if Bayley wins and Liv wins, then Bayley ends the show. But if Liv wins and Bayley wins, I'm sorry, but if Ronda win and Bayley win, then I think Ronda ends the show. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. I just think they're hyping it up. It's the first women's one-on-one ladder match ever. It's two of their biggest stars. I mean, I don't think Liv Morgan's there. Ronda obviously is. I don't think Liv's there with the likes of Bianca and Bayley. But I guess it depends on how they want to finish it ultimately. I know they have some like kind of cards they can still play. We don't know when Sasha will ever show up. We don't know when Charlotte will ever show up. We don't know when Becky's coming back. Like there's definitely some things in the background that can play into both of these matches, honestly. But
And
I'm
also,
leaning the ladder match.
And also, again, if Bray Wyatt's coming back and it's during that strap match, then that is going to main event this show. You know what I mean? Like that will be how this show goes off the air. Like I can't
Yeah, but that'd be weird if that got the main event.
listen. I agree, but those vignettes have been leading and leading and leading. Like that needs to be a main event impact. You know what I mean? Like that can't be somewhere right in the middle of the card where Bray Wyatt just shows up. Granted, it's Bray Wyatt and it'll be huge, whether it's the first match, the last match, or anything in between. But I think that will be the main event if it's Bray Wyatt's going to show up. And yeah, like you said, the Charlotte and Sasha currently sidelined right now. So if they are going to show up, then that'll be the main event. And depending on where they show up, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a really good point. But who do you have winning?
I'm gonna take Bianca.
I love Bianca Belair, so it's so hard to pick against her, but I'm taking Bayley in this one. I think it's time. I think the girls got the tag team titles, similar to a bloodline effect here. Put Bayley over, give them all 3 titles, and then see what happens from there.
I don't dislike that. I just don't see it. I don't know if I know it's Bayley. I don't see them taking the belt off Bianca in this spot. I don't think the feud warrants it, even though it's been going on a decent amount of time now. It's not like a relatively new feud. And it does have some heat. It's always felt like out of sorts to me. I feel like Asuka and Alexa Bliss have just been bizarre in this feud. They're just kind of like Bianca's friends, and it's been going on for like it feels like 2 months now. I don't know if it's been that long, but it kind of feels like it.
It is super weird. It is just really quickly. It is super weird. The way that Asuka and Alexa Bliss just like clinged on to the women's champion.
And these are two of the most like well-renowned, well-respected feud. These aren't random people. Like I don't mean to be rude or offensive, but like Dakota Kai and Io Sky are kind of random people. Like Asuka and Alexa Bliss are like they were the main events of the women's division for the past half decade. Like
the both of them, yeah, the both.
Yeah, so it's just And it's weird. It's just the whole thing is very weird to me. I don't see Bianca losing in this way.
Um, the one thing I'll say about that is I think the reason they put Asuka and Alexa Bliss in like against them is for the reason that you said, because I think they wanted it to be a big deal when they won that 3-on-3 match. So I think that's why those are the two that were chose to get involved, because it's like, damn, they beat the current women's champion and two, like you said, women's champion who have run the division for half a decade now. So I think that's probably why they booked it like that. Um, but yeah, I generally think that this one can go 50-50, but I'm taking Bailey because I just feel like it's time, and Bianca doesn't need another year-long reign or anything like that. But did she have one last time?
When did she win? Who did she beat?
She win WrestleMania and then lose at SummerSlam last year. She beat Sasha at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, she lost to Becky and then she beat Becky at Mania.
Yeah, and then I mean, look, if she holds it to Extreme Rules, that's 6 months. There's nothing wrong with that. So
I think we could really use that. I just don't see it. Like I think it'd be a nice like shot in the arm to have a new title, like a new main champion, because it kind of feels a little bit stagnant right now. I feel like we kind of in our ways at this moment. Obviously, Roman at the top will never lose. Lashley's been for 3 months, which isn't like crazy long, but at the same time, I think there's an opportunity there to give it to Seth, and then the tag team's been the same forever with the Usos. It's kind of all been kind of the same.
right, yeah. I do I do wonder what's happening with these championships. It feels like they're in a state of hold right now because they're waiting for this potential brand split, I think. But then again, we don't even know if it's actually going to happen. And also they have these new title belts on the way, so I'm curious as to who they want holding the new title belts when they ring them out too. Like a title belt looks great on Bobby Lashley, so I imagine that he's going to still be United States champion if they're planning on getting those out like by the end of the year, you know. So I think that has something to do with it. Like obviously you'd love Roman Reigns holding whatever title that is, because he's the guy. So I think that's probably in the back of their mind too, is like who's going to be the first person to hold all these new title belts. And apparently everyone's been redone. So that's what I read. Um, same general concept of like the big W in the middle for the main championships, but different. I was told very different. So
Okay.
I read very different.
Yeah.
Not
Bailey has a good chance to win. I'm gonna stick with Bianca, but Bailey does have a good chance to win this.
yeah. Yeah, no, I think Bailey wins, but I would not be shocked if Bianca.
Because in my scenario here, I think I'm kind of like questioning myself because everyone retains the way I'm looking at it. So I do think Liv wins this next match. I think.
I
I don't
also
know.
think Liv wins this next match.
So like in that scenario, everyone retains for me, but you have Bailey winning, which makes sense with
Right.
that one big title change.
Right. And I think again, I mean, having Bianca hold the belt versus having Bailey hold the belt, there's not really much drop off there. You know what I mean?
No,
I
definitely
actually
not.
think at this point in time, Bianca Belair is the best women's wrestler and probably like a top 3 wrestler in the company. Like I really do think she's that good. But
Bailey, I'm sorry, continue.
no. Go ahead. What were you gonna
I was
say?
gonna say Bailey also got the kiss of death. Did you see the ending of Raw?
Yes. Yeah, she was holding the strap. Yep.
I would love to see the numbers there. I don't think it's ever been done.
So maybe Bailey's the first to hold the strap and then actually win it. But yeah, okay. I guess let's head over to that Liv Morgan Ronda Rousey match, and that is the namesake of the show. That is an Extreme Rules match, and I gotta say, we criticized the Liv Morgan booking, excuse me, up until Clash at the Castle.
Mhm.
And we haven't really talked about her much, but since Clash of the Castle, Liv Morgan has carried herself, or they have allowed her to carry herself as a women's champion. Would you agree with that statement?
They have done an excellent job over the last few weeks establishing Liv as a legitimate champion. It's kind of what we did talk about last time we did this at the Clash. I said Shayna's going to win. I said there's no reason for Liv to win. She's been booked miserably. She's the weakest champion I've ever seen in the company. There's no point here. She had the decisive win over Shayna, which was very, very good. And we kind of said if she's going to win this match, you gotta book her better. You gotta put her in that position. They've done exactly that. She had the really fun match with Lacey Evans where she jumped to the table, kind of showing how crazy she is now. She's cut some decent promos on Ronda, and if she doesn't win, I would be kind of baffled just the way that they're booking her at this point. But it's Ronda Rousey, so that's actually like a massive win for Liv Morgan if she beats Ronda Rousey. So there's a lot of kind of factors here. It's Extreme Rules, like you said. We can do a lot of things with shenanigans if they want to go that direction. But for me, I would love it if it was just a one-on-one, no outside interference, and give Liv the win. That'd be excellent.
I don't think anyone's getting involved here, but like maybe Shayna Baszler gets involved on behalf of Ronda Rousey, and like then if you took the belt off of Liv and started this like crazy stable with Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, then maybe I could see that happening. But yeah, I think Liv has to win this match, and I think if you do, you've kind of established like a star here. You know what I mean? Maybe not a superstar, but like definitely someone who is legitimate when you step in the ring, like kind of what Alexa Bliss is right now. I don't want to put Asuka in that category because I feel like Asuka just came back from injury and was just kind of thrown into all of this. But she like Alexa Bliss has kind of been on this level for a little while now, where she's like a little lower than the women's main
I mean,
event.
Alexa Bliss never had a win like this if she goes over.
Right. That's true. That's true too. Like if she beats Ronda Rousey, that's like Becky, Charlotte, and that's it. And Alexa Bliss actually, but oh no. Alexa Bliss didn't cash in on her. She cashed in on Nia Jax. That's right. So yeah, so I don't think anyone else has ever beaten Ronda, and I don't think anyone's beaten her twice. And this would be Liv Morgan beating her twice. So
that is true as well.
Yeah.
I know you said you don't think there'll be any outside interference here. I think you do have to at least consider the possibility of a Charlotte, possibly Becky if they want to put her over on SmackDown. But I think it would do really well for Liv if they just let her get a win here without any help.
Yeah, I hope they just have her beat her. Like just like let these two go all out because we know obviously Ronda can go. We know that. And I have this theory that Liv Morgan is good enough to go toe to toe with her. This could be the feel good moment. This could main event that I think Liv could go over and in the main event of this pay-per-view in an Extreme Rules match.
Well, she's already champion, so that wouldn't really be like
this is a big deal. Like that would be a huge deal if she overcame Ronda Rousey with weapons. I know that's like the whole purpose of the match, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it would be a very big deal beating Ronda Rousey in any capacity. So I hope they do it. I hope they go through with it. It would make no sense if they had Liv lose right now. That would make literally no sense. But I guess we'll have to wait to see what happens on Saturday.
All right. So, I mean, like, there's not one bad match on this card. So I guess what I just want to leave us with here is I've said match of the like potential match of the night for every single match. So I just want to know what your match of the night is going to be.
I think Seth and Riddle. I think I was very pleasantly surprised. I didn't know about 3 of these matches in the card until you told me them, and I'm like, this all sounds really, really good. Like you said, I'm sure after baseball, I'll probably try not to see any spoilers, and I'll try to watch back the whole show. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I'd probably take Seth and Riddle, but I think the girls' matches are definitely intriguing as well.
Yeah, I think both of those women's matches have a chance. Something about that ladder match has potential banger, absolutely. But the match I'm going to go with, I think is going to open the night, and I think it's going to be the Brawling Brutes and Imperium, just because I think that there's such a fun factor to the tornado craziness style of what they're going to do. Sheamus and Gunther put on match of the night already. I almost said Walter. Sheamus and Gunther put on match of the night at Clash of the Castle. Now we're adding 4 more men to that. So,
it's I'm sure.
Look, and of course the only match we didn't talk about Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross, which we did talk about earlier as a potential great match, and then Edge and Finn Balor. Imagine that we're going into this card with Edge and Finn Balor being the potential Edge, WWE Hall of Famer Edge, and Finn Balor being the worst potential match on the card. Like that's crazy. And obviously, look, they have to go out and do it and live up to this, but this could be a potentially really good card without Roman Reigns on it. That's crazy.
I'll say Seth and Riddle open, Bianca and Bayley close.
I will say I think the Brawling Brutes and Imperium are going to open the show, and I think that the close is going to be the shot of Liv Morgan raising the women's championship over Ronda Rousey's corpse on the ground. So
that would be a pretty great ending.
I mean, like if it ended like that, like they did it. You know what I mean? Like they did what they had to do. But you got anything else for us?
I'm good. I'm excited for Saturday.
All right, let's go Mets. And thank you guys for watching. If you guys disagree with anything we said, leave it below in the comments, and we'll talk to you soon.